up, everybody? I am back with another video. Okay, man, that was okay. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a tutorial on how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. So this is one of my more complex and more effect-based decks, but it does have some potential. This is my rockets, slash balls. I got all the new links. Flash, Charge, Dragon. But we're not focused on that today. Today I'm going to be teaching you how you could play Yu-Gi-Oh! Not literally, I'm just teaching you. If you get a 40 card deck, you can go over the amount as you can. I'll show. Bam. You can go over the amount. It's just not generally. Like, if you want to play, like, competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Then you have a 40 card deck. But, so, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this, and I'm going to be doing a tutorial on a different card game I play, called Card Fight Vanguard, but we're not going to talk about that right now. I'll show you, that video will be later down the line. Who knows, maybe it'll be in the description. Not description, but, at the end card. Maybe I will have an end card. I don't know. If you guys want me to do end cards, let me know. But, so, here, we're going to start with the simple things. We have monsters, we have spells, and we have traps. So, monsters, you can only normal summon monsters once per turn, and you can perform a normal summon or a set. Here, I'll show you what that is. So, this is a set. And, let's draw monster size. Okay. And, this is a normal summon. So, you can this is a continuous spell. This can be constantly on the field. There are different kinds. There are many kinds of monsters, but we're not going to go into those. But for spells, there are many kinds. There are normal spells, which can only be activated during your turn. Quick play spells, which if you set them face down, they can be activated during your opponent's turn as well. A continuous spell, which just stays on the field until either it leaves the field or it has like, destroy, or like deck lockdown, which has a destroy effect after 2 turns pass. But those stay on the field. Rituals only go with ritual monsters. So yeah, you have to have the ritual spell to have the ritual monster, to have the ritual, whatever. Equip cards can equip onto monsters and give them buffs or just like extra things, like this one. The equip monster attacks a face down, it gains 1500 during 1500 during damage calculation. There are field cards. Let's go in your field zone. I have one actually. Let's see if I can. Awesome. So it goes all the way to the left. You can set a field card, and then you can activate those. Bam. And then bam, you can do that. You can mess around and play that. That's the basics to Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go into the more complex things in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like effects. Effects can only, in trap cards, when they're set, you can only act. So, like, watch this. Okay, I'll activate Ball Supplier. Set my bay out. So, like, I can't activate this because they can only be activated the turn after. Most traps have an effect where they can only be activated. They can be activated during your opponent's turn, but this trap in particular, this one can only be placed. This one can only be played when I link summon a monster. So that's when I bring out my Striker Dragon. And most of my cards, other than fusion monsters, they require some kind of spell, a fusion spell. Synchro monsters, you have to have 2 monsters that equal the level. One has to be a tuner. You just have to have 2, in this case, dark dragons. And then for links, you just have to have the amount of monsters, like 3 plus 3 effect monsters. Or 1 level 4 or lower dragon. And, well, there's not really much else to Yu-Gi-Oh! You can make your own decks. All of it relies on, like, effects. Like, you could, they have, like, a lot of monsters have effects, and I don't really know how to explain them. It's just, like, hard to explain. I guess I can show, well, yeah, I didn't know the 3 kinds of traps. There are normal traps. There are continuous traps that stay on the field, and counter traps that counter your opponent in some way, if that is to negate them in some way. Most counter traps negate, but a lot of them have some drawback or some effect that, or something that you have to pay or something like that. Monsters, here, let's just go into all the monsters. There are normal monsters that have no effects, they're just power monsters. Effect monsters that have a lot of effects, if that is how they are summoned, and just a lot of effects. Fusion monsters have to be fusion summoned with polymerization or some kind of fusion material. And some have special requirements, like 2 specific monsters. Some don't, like 5-headed, who just needs 5 monsters. Ritual monsters, you have to have the ritual spell, and you have to have the ritual spell for him, or there are some ritual spells that just work for everyone. And you have to have the amount of monsters that equal the level, so I'd have to have either 2 level 6 or level 2s, you have to have the amount of tributes for it. Synchros, you have to have a tuner monster, which is like this, and then it has to equal the level. Or, like this one that requires 2 different monsters, so you can't just have like a 4 and an 8, and then Synchro summons shooting Quasar. You have to have 3 level 4s, a lot of different ways of summoning. Or like for these level 8s, you just have to have one monster, so you'd have to have 2 level 4s, like for my Savage Dragon. XCs, you have to have 2 of the same level, or just or like some of these higher ranked ones have special ways of bringing them out, or just 3 level 12s and 3 level 12s. There are things called rank up magics that, there are stuff called rank up magics which allow you to rank up your units. Not units, but your monsters. You get to rank them up, so you can take this level 6, and you can bring them out to, and say you have one called Double Force, which lets you double his rank, and then he can bring out a level 12. Bop. Pendulums, these are normal pendulums, these don't have effects, but pendulums, you can summon, if you have 2 cards in your pendulum zone, you can bring out cards that are in between the numbers, so like 4 and an 8, you can bring out 5, 6, 7. Link monsters, you have to have the amount of tributes. So, like, or some have none of, here's the thing. Link monsters usually don't need some specific monsters. Most of them just need effect monsters, which makes tokens ineffective. Or like this Orcust one that requires an Orcust monster. Special summoned. Those are just cards that require a special summon. These are normal tuners, normal pendulums. Synchro tuners are cards that can be used for synchro summons as well. They're tuners. So they're like my Rocket Synchron, my Rocket Tracer. But like, they can also be used. And they're just also synchro monsters. Regular tuners, Gemini monsters require 2 normal summons, but they have a lot of support. Unions are like equips. They can equip onto other monsters. Spirit monsters return to your hand at the end of the turn, but some have effects. Cool little effects. They cannot be special summoned. That's their whole drawback. Some can't even be normal summoned. Flip monsters are cards with like flip effects, so when they're flipped up, they have effects. Flipped face up, and then tunes, these things, they are their own thing because there's so many of them. They're just different versions of, they're just cards. They're like everyday monsters, but if they were in a cartoon. If you guys want me to make a toon deck, I'm totally down. Because toons are actually pretty fun. They're really annoying. That's what I love about them. I love annoying my opponent to death. That's the best part. And, well, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see me make a toon deck, let me know in the comments below. See you all next time. And if you guys want me... Oh, and Tico says hi to all my fans. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, let Tico sub to my friend Tico. I've dragged this on long enough. This really was hard after the first 5 minutes. I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.